Guys, thanks for joining us tonight on Tech Tuesday. Yes, Chuck and I are standing. It's going to be a little bit shorter show, but an effective show. As always, we're going to talk about pertinent, important information we want to share with you guys in regards to maintaining your Corvette, maybe how to use something on your Corvette, how to fix something on your Corvette. Look at all this. Yeah. All this but one of these pages right here to fix a freaking button in the center console of the C8. I thought you were joking.
No, and this is only half. If you have to go further over to the glove box, it's double this size.
I asked him the day before, I said, hey, I want to talk about this on Tech Tuesday. You got a couple of customers, this has come up. You've got one on order for a client. And he goes, yeah. So I come back later, I said, hey, did you get that stuff? He goes, oh yeah, about 20 pages. I go, no, just for the button. He goes, no, it's about 20 pages. He's going to explain here in just a little bit. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Corvette kickoff for the Woodward Dream Cruise at Pontiac, the M1 Concourse. This is going to be such a blast. I'm so honored that I'm going to be there with my Corvette, with my trailer, and doing what we did as kids, man. We didn't have cool cars back then. Some of you did, lucky. But we dreamt about having cool cars, and that's cruising up and down the boulevard in your car, whether it was 5 colors or not. You know, one day I'm going to get them Krager wheels, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, so we're going to have a good time. We're going to share that with you guys this coming Sunday on my Coffee with Conti show. Not a lot of you, I guess, are not into tracking. Not many people watched this past weekend show. I thought it was a different angle. I was kind of narrating over the PDR footage. You know, instead of just watching it and playing music, I wanted to explain to you what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong. I thought that was a really interesting perspective on autocrossing. I'm still learning, and I'm enjoying sharing that with you guys. So check that out. We'll put a link down below in the description. Real quick, too, current business. Guys have been just blowing me up still. We talked about this a couple of days ago on my channel. The build and price tool on Chevrolet.com. I apologize, we don't control this. It is not on Chevy.com until September 10th. Why? I don't have a freaking clue, man. It's just, they've got pricing. We're ordering cars, but the build and price tool that you need to kind of get you to that next step is not available. If you're looking to order a 25 or looking for a nice closeout deal on a 24, contact me. Email address is up on the screen. I do appreciate those considerations. And before we get into this novel to replace this button, I think you have one email from one of our viewers.
Yes, this would come from David. Says battery issue. I'm sorry, Donald. Battery issue.
Okay, is this on a C8 car?
Yeah, okay. 2023.
All right.
Says, hello, Rick, once again, I know you hear this all the time, but Pope Chuck, you and Pope Chuck are the best. You guys
You're freaking Pope now.
Are sincere and willing to share the vast library of knowledge with your brethren Corvette owners. I bow to you and thanks. We thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Says, I have a 2023 HTC with a Z51 package. I purchased it on 7/1/22, and I have about 6,600 miles. I drove it on Sunday through the mountains to a car show. On that next Friday, I went to start it, and the battery was dead. I hooked up my GM trickle charger, and it only went up to the 2nd level of charge. It started the car, but it still only goes to the 2nd level. I got extremely hot, so I disconnected it. I keep trying, but the result is the same. My research into this problem resulted in a solution that means I need a new battery. What are your thoughts? More than likely, I mean, I think it was since C7, the alternators really don't charge the batteries. They just maintain a fully charged battery. So if your battery is getting low or weak, the alternator's not going to charge it back up. So.
Right.
It says, BTM, my dealer did me a big favor. I was in for some brake problems and discussed the 7,500 mile service when it only had 5,000 on my 2-year anniversary date. He called GM and got me a 7-month extension. How nice. That is nice.
Wow, I don't know how you pulled that off.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I installed a new steering wheel, which has an array of LED lights at the top to show my tack levels, and I love it. Yeah, I would say more than likely you need a battery, but the only way you're going to get GM to pay for the battery is take it to the dealer. We got to hook it up to a machine. It's got to go through all kinds of tests, and if it fails the battery, they will buy you a new battery.
You think that steering wheel has anything to do with the battery?
It could, I don't know.
All right. Thank you for watching. Thanks for sending the question. We're going to have a lot more questions for you guys next week. One thing I want to share with you is a clip, and you talked about this the other day, and it just kind of happened something with a Z06 engine. I thought this is great to bring this back up. When you guys get your new Corvette, I go through the car with you guys and I talk about break-in, especially with the Z06, and it's so hard to break in a Z06 because the thing just sounds amazing. And what do you want to do? you want to rev the hell out of it, man. It's just, listen to the thing, it sounds great. But you really shouldn't do that. I want you to watch this clip, and Chuck and I are going to talk about something else when we come back.
You've just purchased the impressive Corvette Z06 and you're ready to break in its engine. You may have a lot of questions and you want to do it right. I'm your host, Billy Consor. Welcome to Chevy My Way Corvette Expert Sessions. Let's talk to the experts about the do's and don'ts of breaking in the LT6. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good to see you, Billy.
So a lot of passion has gone into the Z06 and its engine, and you want to break it in properly, correct?
Breaking the engine is really important. The owner's manual gives you the guidance on the 500 miles for street driving and then the 1,500 miles for track driving. Just give your engine that time so everything's working the way it should before you run it too hard. 670 horsepower, 8,600 RPM. There's a lot of moving components in the engine. This engine is a very high-speed engine, makes a lot of power, there's a lot of load on the components. There was an old saying long ago, the saying was, drive it like you stole it. Don't do that. That's a terrible thing to do.
What are the exact components that we're protecting by breaking in the engine?
The biggest component you're protecting is the running surfaces or the bearings. You need to give the bearings that first critical 500 miles. So there's actually some material in the bearing that moves around. The top layer of the bearing is about 20 microns thick. Human hair is about 70, so we're talking fractions of a human hair.
Since the engine vibrates, it's going through these orbits and gyrations. That soft top layer on the bearing will actually move around and adapt and provide clearance so that you'll never have a worry of scuffing the bore of the bearing to the journal of the crankshaft. And I'll give you an analogy. I think it's a good analogy for Corvette customers. A polisher, you go at it very slow and smooth, and you get a brilliant, beautiful, polished surface. If you go at it aggressively and push too hard, you're going to scuff the paint and you're going to damage it. So that's exactly what the bearing's doing, is the crankshaft is rotating and you're going through miles and you're varying the speed and load. It's polishing the high surfaces to provide that clearance.
So if you sit at one speed and load, it's kind of going to break into one condition. You really want the bearing and the crankshaft to see that wide range of operation that the car is destined for, and varying it around allows it to break in across that range.
Okay, so in addition to the engine break-in, is there a period of break-in for the transmission?
Since we actually reduce engine power by a certain percentage for the first 500 miles in the first 2 gears,
The tachometer will tell you. So it's giving that suggestion of the lower than 8,600 RPM red line, remind you for the first 500 miles. At 500 miles, that opens up. That is street driving, you can use all the car. The dyno test for the LT6, it's unique for the, call it more mainstream high volume OEMs. Big exotics, they do it. The big three, the high volume, the typical American pony cars, it's not done. It is a great quality gate. So instead of just idling the engine on a dyno, this is a full load, high speed dyno test. It does start that break-in process. We get that kick started a little bit in a controlled setting where we can control the temperatures, the speed profile, and things like that.
it's a gentle send-off to start the break-in process and allows us to check the oil, check everything, and everything's good to go so the customer has a great experience in the Z06.
What type of oil is used in the Z06 and what makes it so unique?
We developed an all-new oil for the LT6 engine. It's a 5W50 and it's a Dexos R. R stands for racing. We're really proud of this oil. We work very closely with ExxonMobil.
The oil type is a big enabler for what this engine does, right? I mean, we're breaking records for naturally aspirated horsepower with this engine. If you think about everything else in the LT6, the engineering has to be precise to the micron to make these parts work. The oil life monitoring system is the same way. It's actively looking at the way the engine's being used and what it's doing and factor that into the life or longevity of the oil and just follow the dash and it'll tell you when it's time.
It's been finely engineered, every piece and every component on the engine. It's been expertly built here at the Performance Build Center, and we do everything possible to make it easy for the customer to take good care of the car.
So let's do a recap. Drive at varying speeds and RPMs. Remember, there's a 500-mile break-in period for street driving and a 1,500-mile break-in period for the track.
Wasn't that video educational? Perfect for our Tech Tuesday. And I don't know when it was, some time ago, you replaced a motor.
Yes.
The Z06.
Correct.
First of all, how long did it take you to do that?
It took
Really?
a while because
Right.
it was my first one, but I'd say probably 3 days.
Now, how many more of those you got in you?
that one and done. No, I don't.
That's why I said that. He goes, that's it, Ricky. I'm done with these, man. He goes, these young guys, I'm going to teach them how to do it.
Right,
That was a lot of work. And I think that particular engine had, what, 750 miles on it or something like that?
Yeah, a little over 700.
Just what we were talking about before that clip. I'm not sure where he got it, who talked to him, if they even talked to him at all. Maybe he got the old, see your keys, see your car, see you later. Nobody showed him and talked to him about braking on the car, so he probably was, and it's easy to do. It's an intoxicating sound, and you just want to continue to rev it. Maybe that's what happened to that motor. I don't know if you ever knew that diagnosis for sure, but Chevy told you replace the motor, so you replace the motor.
Correct.
What amazed me is he asked you, hey, well, I got my new motor. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm just going to go hammer on it. And you're like, whoa, no, Chuck, no. You start all over.
Absolutely.
With all those break-in periods that we just talked about and just shared in that clip. When we talk about constantly, you've got the 200-mile break-in for the linings. You got the 500-mile initial break-in, and then you got the 1,500-mile break-in before you really start hammering on the car. Especially with Z06, I always advise the clients to, I don't know, wait till 1,500 before you do the launch control sequence. They say you can do it at 500, but I think
it was explained best in that video that all the rod bearings and the main bearings and the cam bearings and everything, the molecules in them bearings are looking for a place to settle where it has the best adhesion. So if you do the break-in period right and let those molecules settle to where they're tight, they got the tight tolerances, you're doing yourself in the car a big favor.
It is so high-tech, that motor. It's simply amazing. And I think because of what Chuck was just mentioning and some of the stuff you guys just saw in that Chevrolet clip is why they were going to do the program where customers could go and build their own engine and bone and grain assembly. And I think they just said, this is just too sensitive. We're just going to kind of nix that program. And it's a bummer because it's a great experience, but I think because of the sensitivity and the technology in that engine, let's let the people that do it for a living, let them build the engine.
Absolutely.
But you guys as owners have to break the car in properly. And that's the point we wanted to make tonight. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you got questions for Tech Tuesday, email those in, please. Don't go yet. We're done talking about cars, fixing cars, how to use cars. We want to show off your cars. What are these, Chuck?
You gonna cover this button?
Oh, no, I didn't do that. I'm trying to wrap the show up.
Just asking for a friend.
I bitch slapped Chuck on Sunday show, and he just I don't know if you guys saw that. He just got me. Yeah, we probably should cover the button. So that was kind of the feature of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I got carried away with the break-in thing and the motor replacement and all that crap. But that was important. Okay, so I've had a couple of guys that have had the issue on the C8, the center console button. You push that in, and either it gets pushed in, stays in, or it falls out and it stays out, and you never can get it to go back in. You would not believe what's involved to change that. I thought you were literally joking. Right. And when you printed this off, you said that's about 20 pages. And you said you start, please just explain real quick what these folks are looking at as we go through this manual on how to change this button and the center console on a C8 Corvette.
Well, we talk about how the C8's a super car.
Right.
Well, the interior is just as super, because to replace this center console button, which you would think would be a fairly easy process, you actually start on the driver's side of the car tearing stuff apart. You have to take the garnish pillar molding off, the windshield molding garnish replacement, the instrument panel trim pad radio speaker opening, and you just start at the driver's side and work your way around till you get to the center console.
The steering column?
Yeah, you take the trim panel off the left side of the dash where the door opens. This is underneath. And once you get all that off, you move to the back in the center stack where the speaker is and where your phone charger is, and you start taking that apart.
Dude, what the hell does any of this have to do with the center console button? Are you kidding me right now?
Well, that's the only way to access it, because you start the driver's side and work your way around to the center, and then, you're taking the trim piece off, it's down by your legs, and then you're taking the trim piece off, it's down by the passenger side leg, then you're taking another trim piece down that's on the inside of your driver's leg. On the right side, you're taking the switch stack trim piece off, and then you can take the center stack out that has the center console and your buttons and AC and all that stuff.
It's got to be the way this thing is made, that they're all interconnected.
Absolutely.
You can't take out one piece or else you'd bust everything else.
Right. Once you get all that out, then you can access the button, and you take a couple of screws out, and looky there, the button just falls right out once you get to that point.
I had one of my customers call me from Northern Ohio I figured it'd be worth talking about because I know this has not happened to just to one guy, but he says,
Right.
hey, can you ask Chuck about this? That prompted the conversation, you digging into that.
Right.
And he says, my dealer says it's going to take 3 days to fix it. And I go, dude, for a center console button, you kidding? I go, let me talk to Chuck. Could take them 3 days. My goodness, that was pretty elaborate. Wow.
And it's the same thing. It's not just the center console button. Your glove box button curve on the passenger side,
Yeah.
you start repair the same way. You start on the driver's side and work your way around the back of the car to get to that glove box button.
I don't even know what to say.
Super interior, super car.
Welcome to C8. Holy Toledo. Wow. Okay, now we're done. What do we do now?
Now we're going to see your beautiful ride.
Okay, see you next week.
If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were no one. And I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting, oh, and your heart's bleeding, and all you can see is red. Till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were no one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you